So first of all, you're out of your surgery, right? Post-op?
Yeah.
How oh, God. What a fucking run it's been for the two Bears. Jesus Christ, you guys.
Guys, officially, I just
Nice.
changed it here. I'm at 90 degrees.
Let's go. You really
wow.
are. I mean, the Mickey Mantle gene, brother, you're like, you just defy science, man. It makes no sense.
Was that Instagram picture? Was that real? Is that how skinny you are?
No, okay. Yeah. That's what I said. I was like, that's got to be
Bro, I
Photoshopped.
thought it was real. I'm a sucker for things on the internet. I believe everything I see. I haven't gotten the vaccine yet.
The first person to text me was Rogan, and he goes, "Bro, is this fucking real?"
We got to get you in the gym, man. We got to work you out.
You should see the one I sent. I sent them one of my, because I got a new phone number, and I do the same thing with my dick. Dude, it's the best fucking picture. It's the best fucking picture. And I sent, when you get a new phone number, Segura and Rogan have had 9 new phone numbers. I got my first new phone number. Yeah. So Segura's like, all right, take a picture of yourself holding a piece of paper with your phone number on it, and then send it so people know it's you. And so I was like, okay. So I did it, and then Rogan goes, "Still don't believe it. Show me a picture of your dick." So I was like, all right. Dude, it looks like a Coke can. It is so fucking big. It is so big, and then it's all comics on that thread. So they're like, "Did you get your dick caught in a car door? Did it get stung by 100 bees?"
Man, what a group text that must be. Jesus Christ. That's hilarious. Yeah. But everything went well. I know you were scared you were going to die or some shit on the table.
I melted down.
Yeah, man. You were bugging.
One of the last 2 bears we did was the day before I went to surgery. Mm-hmm. And what had happened, and I'm not really great at, I'm super sensitive. and Segura knows that. And he was like, "Are you sure you want to post that podcast?" Because what had happened is my number had gotten leaked. My number had gotten doxxed. And you get a ton of really cool texts and phone calls. When your number gets out, there are people throughout a year that will call the most random. They'll find your number and they'll be like, "Hello?" And you're like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're like, "Is this the machine?" And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, "Oh my God, it's really you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, you called me. What do you want?"
Right.
and so you get a bunch of really cool ones. Like I had a dad. This is my favorite one ever. Not my favorite one. I have a bunch of really good ones. I had a dad one time call. And he goes, is this Bert? And he's kind of crying. And I go, "It is." And he goes, "I just got your number off the internet. I just dropped my daughter off at Florida State. I'm your dad, And me and him talked as he drove down the 10. Me and him talked.
Wow.
And we talked about, and it was our fucking coolest phone call.
Yeah,
it was like
man.
the coolest. And then progressively, he just proceeds to get wasted every other night and call
you. Yeah. It was cool the first time, bro. I don't want to talk anymore. Lose my number.
and then you get really cool phone calls. Like me and Segura were in the car one time. This had just happened. We were in the car, and the Starbucks person was a bigger fan of me than his. And this guy just called randomly, and I answered it. I go, "Hello," and he goes, "Hey, Segura still in the car?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm a bigger fan of his than you." And hung up. And it was like, Segura and I were doubled over laughing, right? But for all the good ones, you do get, it's interesting. They start off friendly, and you don't reply, and then they turn on you. Mm-hmm. And it's usually with texts. And it's like,
especially like a guy like you, when it's like you talk to your fans and you're down to earth, people expect you to have full-blown conversations with them just because you're an average guy. And it's like, no, I can't talk to every random number that texts me, dude.
Yeah, and so right before I was going into surgery, there were 2 dudes who had my number who were being absolutely hateful. And I was like, I don't need this. Like, I don't read comments on Instagram because I don't want to see anything bad. And a lot of it's good, but I just don't. The idea that I would get on Twitter and it would ruin my day is just not in the cards for me. I don't do it.
Smart man. Yep.
But I can't have it where they can get into my phone and then they can get into my life. And so I changed my number, and but I I was like melting down on one of the two bears because I was like, I really thought I was gonna die. I mean,
Dude, Tom was like, "Yo, any last words? This might be the last time you ever talk to the fans." Tom was being such an asshole, just poking the bear.
Why did you think you were gonna die?
He's dead inside. He's fucking dead inside.
But what made you think you were gonna die? You just had a feeling?
Complications with surgery, dude. Bill Paxton.
Yeah, he just kept talking about
surgery. Like,
I mean, I shouldn't laugh because it does happen, but you were just so convinced you were going to be the one in a. And then he started looking up the numbers. Don't do that, man. The numbers of bad things happening are really much better than you think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You start looking at it and you're like, fuck, dude, I'll stand outside in a thunderstorm way quicker than I'll go into surgery. Yeah. And that's scary. Dude, getting in the water, you're so much safer than getting attacked by a shark. I mean, the numbers are scary about like, and so I was like, and then I don't know, man. You know, just like everything when I got into the hospital, the waiting room sucked, right? The Asian dude next to me sucked. He was like, "Hey man, can I be awake for my surgery?" And they're like, "What?" And he's like, I'm studying to be a doctor, and I would love to see the procedure."
Oh my god, what an asshole!
And they're like, "Hey man, you don't want to be awake for this."
Yeah, like, you know what? I don't think that guy should be a fucking doctor if you think you can be awake for the surgery. You're out, dude. Jesus,
and you can't have anyone in COVID. You can't have anyone in there.
Yeah.
And they take your fun mask, the mask that you're comfortable with. They give you the surgical one, and then everything changed for me. I get into the room, and the curtain opens, and it's this chick, and she goes, the machine. And I go, yeah. She goes, oh, I'm so excited. And I was like, what? She goes, I saw your name on the thing. And I was like, I listened. I know that you're going into surgery. And I was like, hoping it was you. And I was like, yeah, it's me. And I was like, hey, get me that cocktail quick.
Yeah.
She was like, it's coming. Yeah. I gave him the cocktail. I was so nervous. I couldn't even feel it. I was like, I kept saying, yeah, I need my cocktail. And he goes, dude, you've had it. And I was like, more.
Push that button.
Wait,
put some more in.
Did you get like wait, I've had I think nurses or something like that were like Barstool fans, and they're like, oh, it's Feidelberg. And I was like, I don't want that. New nurse, please.
Yeah.
Our fans, I do not want you to be my one, because I don't want you to see my dick, and two, because I think you're probably not very good at your job.
No, I love. It makes me feel comfortable. Like when I know someone's a fan, I feel it's because it's like, here's the thing, and maybe this is, I don't know. I think it's the same, but like with podcast fans, they know everything about me. Everything. I mean, everything. Like this chick Lucy that called on Two Bears One Cave, who's doing my pre-op. She was a fan, and she was like, I don't want to geek out, but I know who you are. And I was like, cool. And she goes, I can I just say, can you just loop me into group text with Leanne? 'Cause I know you're not reading any of these. And I was like, yeah, of course. and so then I loop her in with Leanne, and she's like, Leanne, this is Lucy. I listen to Two Bears One Cave. I saw Bert at the Ace Hotel or whatever she said. Yeah. And she's like, here's what Bert needs to do. And she's like, thanks, Lucy.
Amazing.
Leanne and Lucy are still texting today.
That is great, man. Yeah, it's like having like a little personal, like, they just give you a little extra care, right? They take care of you.
Yeah, and you know what the other thing I did is this. So like I've always gotten panic attacks, and especially when I did trip flip, and I noticed on trip flip if I could find the camera, my panic attack would go away. So if I could play to the camera, so like if I'm about to jump off a 450-foot cliff and do a rope swing, I would practice my read. I'd get my read ready. I'm here in Interlaken, Switzerland. I'd get my read ready, and getting my read ready would get my mind off it. If I was underwater, I'd find the camera. And I'd talk to the camera, and my panic would go away every time. A lot of times, secret time, if you see a day where I have a lot of stories on my Instagram stories, I'm having a rough day.
You get that camera out, start
my mind off.
Yep.
And look, it might be shallow, whatever the fuck it is, but if I have, like yesterday, I was like, yesterday my arm was hurting, and I started wondering, did I fuck it up? Did I fuck it up by using it too much? And I've got to go to a new degree, and so I just went, all right, let's focus on something else. Let's go. Let's make a project. It's all about specialty cocktails. I want specialty cocktails for Rosario, Jennifer, Corey, and T-Pain. When we wrap, I'm gonna get my guys. We got a smoker. Let's build the smoker. And so I distract myself. So my thing going in, and I told my anesthesiologist this was, I'm going to do a read for my Red Rock show, September 8th, going in. And he goes, cool, what music do you want playing? I go, Creedence Clearwater Revival. He goes, we'll be blaring it in the surgery room. And he goes, I'll make sure you get your read. And I was like, cool. And so I focused my energy on that. I'm sure someone could figure out a better way for me to fucking focus my energy and get rid of panic attacks. But I focused my energy on that, and I did a read rolling into surgery with my phone. I'm like,
dude, that makes perfect sense to me. I don't think it's shallow. I don't think you need to come up with a better way. It's like, this is what you do. You love what you do. It's what you focus on, and if it works, it works.
It's like an athlete talking about, like, on the field, they
go in the zone.
Like on the field, I can escape. Like in front of the camera, you escape.
It was funny. I got a call from Segura. I posted it like the next day. I got a call from Segura, and he goes, I am honestly astounded at what different men we are. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, I know you were scared, and I wasn't scared, but my surgery room was very somber, very quiet, like everyone was like, all right, Mr. Segura, we're going to have you count backwards from 100, and when you wake up, the surgery will be done. We've got the best surgeons in here. We're going to have a great surgery, and we'll see you in recovery. And he goes, you go in, music blaring, going, what's up, everybody? I'm at Red Rock, September 8th. I'm opening Jimmy Buffett's the night before, Jimmy Buffett's the night after. And then my anesthesiologist is like, hell yeah. And I'm like, you want to come? I just invited my anesthesiologist. He fist bumps the phone out of my hand. I grab it. I did like 3 reads, by the way, until they put me under. And the last thing I heard was, let's just put him to sleep. Fuck.
He's never going to fucking shut up.
I had done stories. Obviously, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I did stories all getting rolled into the surgery room, and then I had stopped and I was like, shit, I gotta do a read. So I get out of the surgery and Leanne's like, yo, you gotta check your fucking stories. And I was like, what? She was like, said some unsavory things on your stories.
Oh no.
I'm high as shit. Oh no. And my anesthesiologist was Asian, and all I said was, dude, I love your accent. And he didn't have an accent at all. But he knew what I was trying to say. He was like, I know. Because he has a really deep voice, and he goes, I know. And I go, no, like you know what I'm saying? They go, it's his voice. His voice is really soothing. He was the coolest dude. Earring, badass, put me out.
Love your accent.
He called me the night before and he goes, I haven't drank in 2 weeks. He goes, why? And I said, well, I want to make sure I'm healthy for this. And he goes, dude, I put crackheads under.
You just finished up another video here on KFC Radio, so click subscribe. If you've watched it all the way through, you know that you like our content. You know you're going to watch more of our content in the future, so click subscribe now, and it'll just pop up on your YouTube. You won't miss anything.
It is free. I promise you that.
$0.
Free for you, great for us.
Click it.